Welcome to the Relationship Marketing Manager School. I'm your trainer, Jessica Phillips. This is your guide to long-term sustainable growth for your brand. If you're ready to level up your online marketing skills and stand out in your field, then let's get started. My personal mission is to help others love more, give more, and be more through the art of authentic relating, because I truly believe relationships will always be more powerful than marketing. And that's one of the reasons why I do love live video, because I feel like that's that one platform to where we can all show up, be ourselves, whether we fumble and get on mute, for a minute or not, or just show up to serve. We can truly get a sense of who each person is and build this strong, authentic connection with each other, like nothing else that you can do online. And really, it's not just me that believes that. 82% of people say that they prefer live video from social posts, because it does add that little extra oomph, right, to help us truly build that connection. So I'm super excited to dive in on building this show flow with you. The power of live video is because anyone can be a broadcaster. That's the beautiful thing about it. Any of us can go live and start building these connections. It's also the worst thing about live video too, right? Like anyone can go live and be a broadcaster. But for me, just a quick little backstory, it truly helped someone like myself that grew up in a small town, still in a small town in Lime, Ohio, population 30,000. When I was just getting started at the agency in 2010, I was trying to talk about social media and how brands could truly connect with their community authentically using social. And they weren't on social yet. Right. So I was setting up live workshops at a local bowling alley conference room and trying to really show up to serve, not sell, but truly show up to help these area businesses learn how they could use social media. So at the time knew the plan. I had to send out invites, right? I had to promote this via email and send everyone the information. When they came, I would present this session, but they had to be there in order to get it. And then follow up with them afterward to stay in contact, to start building this rapport. And it was great because that's how I grew my business. I was serving, not selling, but because of showing up in this way, I was able to build these connections. The word of mouth started growing. And I knew that people weren't hiring me because they couldn't figure out on Google or watch a YouTube video on how to do social, but it was because of showing them the power of it and them seeing how I was trying to help serve, that this relationship formed. And then they were trusting me with their baby, their business, right, in order to build this relationship in this process. This was how I did it at the very beginning. And then thank goodness for live video, because now I could expand beyond just the people in my hometown. I could have these videos, I could show up each week and do these sessions, and people could watch the replay. They could still engage with me. They could do it from the convenience of their business. And I'm sure many of you have found the same thing true. However, it can be a little awkward. Right? We've all experienced it when we start showing up. And if you scroll back far enough, you will definitely see many awkward moments when I first got started in live video. And that's okay. The true power of it is showing up. I loved some of the comments that Seth Godin was said today. And just, it's not that you just get into this zone. It's just that you haven't failed enough to feel comfortable. And that's okay, right? But the key is how we show up and what we're doing. So we're going to break this down today on how we can show up like a magnet versus a bullhorn. Because when we think about live video, some of the parts that make it awkward at first and how we can't get into the groove is that we think about it too much, that we're showing up like we have to be perfect and say our words perfect because we're on display. But in reality, if we just show up and be ourselves, and if accidents happen or something goes wrong, that's okay. That's some of the beauty of it. So as we start breaking out this show flow, which by the way, at the very end, I'm going to give you a template that you can do the same thing for your business. What I've done with a show called Magnet Marketers that I started doing that replaced that in-person event. I started doing Magnet Marketers about 7 years ago when Blab was first out, if anyone remembers that. And
rest in peace, Blab. It was a great tool, but now I am a huge advocate and fan of StreamYard because of what it can do. But what I showed up to do is to replace that session that I was doing in person and to truly show up online and do this live show to still add value, but think about it like a magnet. Who do I want to bring in and connect with my community? The right people, the magnets that are going to stick, right? Versus just feeling like I'm going to show up and just have this broadcast message out there. And if we truly want people to watch our show, this is how we can think about that process, how we can show up and feel comfortable about it and confident about it and be able to replicate this and make this a core part of how we're showing up to build relationships with our community. You'll find I'm a huge fan of acronyms. So WATCH is one of them, and we're going to break down what will be easy to remember when you think of, if I want people to watch my show, how can I break this down? So let's start with the first and what I consider one of the most important parts of building out your show is thinking about, for what purpose? What purpose are we creating this? Like I mentioned with Magnet Marketers, the show that I do each Tuesday, one of the things I was thinking about is, yes, I want to show up and help these brands learn how to do social, but there's a million people out there that are doing that. Instead, what I thought about is, how can I teach others how to show up on social to build stronger relationships? Because it ties back to my core of helping people love more, give more, and be more. That's really what I feel that the personal mission is of the business, and that we don't have to show up just to sell and focus on our product, but how can we focus in on the right community that just wants to do business the right way? Not what's easy, but what's right. So when we start thinking for our own brand, for what purpose are we creating this? What is our end goal? Are we trying to build stronger relationships with our current clients? Are we trying to build better rapport with our community? Are we trying to become known for something? Are we trying to, help our customer service approach by offering value? For what purpose are we creating this? When we think about that, for what purpose, it really should be focused on how we care more. Again, I told you I'm a fan of acronyms, but care really truly breaks down to, if we're doing this the right way, we're going to help capture attention from our ideal audience, those magnets that are going to stick with us. We're going to be able to articulate our message, right? Like, what is it that we do and what makes us stand out? We're able to build relationships that's hopefully going to help you grow repeat referral business and exceptional experiences, because people are able to see us in action. And the beautiful part about this is when we focus on that, it helps us grow this momentum, right? This flywheel momentum that's going to only enhance our brand and how we are connecting with others, because now hopefully they're going to be turning from just followers on our page, because now they're enjoying connecting with our content because it's connecting more than social posts, to true fans of ours. And our clients are going to become advocates, and our team members, hopefully evangelists for us, right? And even community into collaborators. That's the big goal. It's because our message is bigger than our product or service. And if we can show up not just to, in the example of Magnet Marketers, teach others how to use social and what's new in social, but how to do it in a way that is building stronger relationships. And for my what purpose, that was it, teaching the art of relationship marketing. And the after effect of that was helping to reduce churn, help to grow awareness, help to articulate what it is that we do, because we're able to share examples in that. So writing out for what purpose really will help you to identify what that core thing is for your brand and why you want to create this live show flow. And in the process of this, you think about how your current customers that you already have, if you already have an existing business or brand, can benefit from this. Think about them first when you're thinking about for what purpose, because this recent study that was just put out by Pew Research, they said that 43% of people or companies are reporting that video has helped them reduce the number of product support phone calls. So this is going to enhance not only your awareness, and not just thinking about like broadcasting and sales, but really truly helping your current customers get to know you better. So when we break that part out, again, when you get that worksheet at the end, if you would like to write this out for yourself, you're really going to think about, why do we want to do the live show in the first place? Not to just broadcast out, but for what purpose? What are we going to measure as success? What should we have? What should people feel by watching it, right? Like, what is going to help us identify our core message and help people relate to us on a level where they feel like they get to know us, right? Like, how is that going to show up in that way? And then the A is all about activators, because again, we want to help move the needle and connect. So it's really important to invite others in. I call these activators, but these can be multiple different people in your brand circle, if you will, your flywheel. So thinking about, how can we involve the followers of our page so we can have them convert to real fans? What does that look like? Maybe you're doing a live show and you're taking maybe a, ask me anything, or maybe you are mentioning them during the live show, right? But a big part of activators too is if you can even feature maybe some of your clients or some of the successes that they've had and tie that into the show to build this activator type relationship, or collaborating with somebody else that already has a built-in trusted community that now you are featuring them. They're sharing it on their page and vice versa. And now you have this alignment with someone else that believes what you believe, and you can grow in this rapport and grow this activation of your live show in order to enhance its reach and to build that true community that's going to keep people coming back for more. I like to call that the craveability factor. What's going to keep people coming back? And even your team members, and maybe invite them in and get involved in the show. All things to think about when you start breaking out your sense of activation for your show. It's shifting that mindset of how can you create this sense of belonging, this tight-knit community that's really going to have people feel like they belong with us. They are our ideal magnet match that's going to want them to come back and share your content, connect with your content, reference it, right, and share it out that way. The activators, when you think and break that down, it's thinking of your core audience, your personas, right? Listing out who's some good people that I admire in my community that I would love to collaborate with and have them on the show, right? Who else can I invite in that's going to help bring this clarity and conviction to our core message and help us to articulate it more and grow this awareness with our audience. The next part of Watch is all about our technique and how we show up. We don't need to all do the same show style the same way. So truly add your own flavor to this. I love the saying, like we're not trying to reinvent ice cream, but we're trying to create our own flavor. And that's really what the technique is all about. Because 94% of marketers agree that the videos have increased the understanding of their product and service, but it doesn't mean that everyone is doing the same show style, because maybe for you are someone that loves to educate and maybe do the how-to type live shows, maybe giving some access in to how people can use your product or service a little bit more, maybe featuring some customers in and talking through how they've, solved a problem or issue. Maybe you're using it just to engage. Maybe it's just ask me anything. Or I love some of the live shows where people have said, hey, give us a sample of like your website and we will audit it with you for while we're going live and give people access to that, right? And then you're getting your community engaged in that. Or maybe you're bringing in experts and having expert topics. So that's, again, like what StreamYard's doing here. They're bringing in experts that are talking about their specific expertise, and they are just the host of the show, right? And so they're growing in that community. Or maybe it's just that you are good at entertaining. I have a friend, Chad, that literally has a show called Sublucid, and it is the most ridiculous thing ever, but it's so entertaining and engaging, and it still provides access to this community of people that are in their community awareness that are like-minded, again, magnets, and it's giving us access to content that we may not have had before. So whatever your style is, I like to call this like the 4E rule, like find your technique that's going to work for you. Of course, you want to, match it with the tone again of the brand so people can get a sense of who you are, and think about the tools maybe that you need to really pull it off and make it look seamless for you. But just how is it going to make you stand out from the rest? Could even be just like adding in a chat bot, right, to what's going on during the live show. And that's something that we do with Magnet Marketers is we invite in anybody to comment on a live show and type the word recap. And they get then a message in their messenger and are able to sign up to get the replay blog transcript sent to them automatically. So thinking through some of those techniques that you're going to do to make sure that you really stand out and become, known for what it is that you do. Then it's all about consistency. So how can we consistently show up in almost like an appointment, right? Because if you're building this community, you want to enhance it and nurture it ongoing. So think about, okay, how often am I going to do this? What's the time limit? And how do people get signed up and notified of this, right? So in this show flow template that I will provide at the end that you guys all have access to, you'll be able to think through, okay, if I'm asking for guests, right? Like how do they go and sign up to become a guest? And I can easily get this information. What am I doing on a daily, weekly basis to ensure that this show is in constant rotation, top of mind awareness to where it doesn't feel like overwhelm though, right? So we have a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday example of exactly everything I do to promote the show and how this show single-handedly provides most of the content that we're using on our Now Marketing Group channels. And it's something that we can repurpose and work smarter, not harder in using that show to its maximum advantage, right? So thinking about your consistency and then your humanity. So again, how can we show up to do things in our own style and add in those extra moments that's really going to make us stand out? So it doesn't just feel like a broadcast that's going live, but truly this humanity that you are bringing in and inviting in your audience to experience something with you. Even if you're bringing in a guest, how can you add this human approach to be able to let them know that you really appreciate them? For us, it is we send them a card and a screenshot of thanking them for being on the show, but sending them a screenshot of their time and moment on Magnet Marketers. We send, sugar wish gifts out sometimes where it's a simple little thank you that allows them to know that we appreciate them. We also are, commenting back and engaging in our community, giving them shout outs and sometimes even audio messages thanking them for their participation in the show. But how can we add in more humanity to build stronger relationships? What will make you stand out and be remembered? How can you add those little moments in? Because it's not about what we do. Anybody can go live, but it's all about how we do it that's going to make the difference that is the difference. So we want to delight, deliver, and do it again. Now, this free show flow template, it breaks down all the questions that you should be asking to create your own show flow and then template for exactly how to break out the show flow for you, the days that you should be creating images and all examples of how you can maximize the content from your live show. So we use like Missing Letter to repurpose it and Wave.video in order to grab snippets of the show to use that as social posts as well. But now you'll have access to that here.